Keith here from Cmon the Hoop Celtic. So I'm going to be talking about the match on Saturday against Ross County. Massive game. Celtic Park, 3 o'clock kickoff. It's not on telly, it's only on Celtic TV, unfortunately. So whoever has the subscription, enjoy it. Enjoy the game. So last time out we played Livingston away. We got beaten. Probably one of the worst performances in the last year and a half for Celtic. So look, we're going to have to bounce back from this, especially at home. International break killed us. Obviously a good win for Scotland. Congratulations against San Marino. Congratulations there. Wasn't so good for Ireland, drawing to Georgia and then beaten by Switzerland. But we're here to talk about Celtic. So Ross County, they're doing quite well. They got promoted this season. They've won 3 games. They've drawn 3 games and they've only lost twice. This is a team that's sitting 5th in the league. Doing very, very good. Obviously a low budget. Quite good of a team. So who would I play? I'd make a good few changes because at the end of the day, the Livingston game, congratulations to Livingston. They were a better team on the day. They pressed us. They really sussed out we to be beaten. Obviously getting chipped as well was a horrible thing. Christie's red card. But at the end of the day, Christie is going to be missed for this game. A lot of fans were harsh against Ryan Christie in the previous game. At the end of the day, we're not robots. People make mistakes. He's been an absolute cracking player this season. He's been probably our top player. Aside Edward, he's been really, really good. But he'll bounce back. He's been just class. So who I'd start? I'd play Fraser in goal. Fraser has a bit of makeup to do. Obviously, the errors against Livingston, he needs to bounce back, which he will, no question about it. He's been a top keeper. He's been in this position before with Celtic, previous as well, so he will bounce back. Right back will be Alhamid. He's been really, really good since he came in. He's been one of our marquee signings. I would say I'd even put him ahead of Julian at the moment for performance levels at Celtic. He's been quite good. Julian will start. Julian came out on Twitter the other day saying he needed that wake-up call to Scottish football. He needs to start realising to play for the shorts. Fair enough, the price tag is high on him. We bought him for a good fee off Toulouse, but he needs to prove it. Celtic's calibre, that he's good enough to be number 1 centre back with Oyer big time. Obviously, with Simonovic is on the way back from injury as well, so definitely Oyer in there as well. Oyer has been quite good. A few mistakes and so, like obviously that own goal, which wasn't his fault against Hibs and so, but that was a bit of a disaster. Bongoli left back. Bongoli has obviously had spells. He's been quite good. He has spells. He's been brutal, but that's all footballers in general. You have to go through these stages, but he's going to be good. He's not going to be at the standards of KT, but I'm quite happy with him so far. I think he's adapting to his play quite good in Scottish football. And even in the Europa League, he had a cracking game against Cluj as well. Can't take that away from him. The midfield, Scott Brown. Bruni, obviously, there was questions asked about Scott Brown and Neil Lennon. Obviously came off against Livingston. What was going on there? But look at Neil Lennon was chasing the game. Tactically, he wanted to put more attacking players on. People criticise Brown, say, "Oh, he slows down the play. Is he still a good player to have on the team?" I think he is, definitely. I think he was good against Cluj, fantastic against the Rangers as well. So I'd still put Scott Brown in there. He's played 550 times nearly now for Celtic. He's had about 10 or 12 bad games for the Hoops, so definitely still in there. Olivier would get the nod because obviously Christie being suspended, so I'd bring Olivier in there. He has a lot to bring. Since he's came back from the under-21s tournament with France, he's really at the stepping up. Obviously Neil Lennon gave him a good chat and he's been quite good. He's been even that goal against Partick a couple of weeks ago was an absolute cracker, so he has improved in play wise. Callum, I'd push him up as the attacking mids. I think this season and spells of last season he's going to be more deeper in the midfield, but I think he's best in that number 9 role, pushing up, getting in there big time. So Callum definitely get the nod ahead. On the right wing will be James Forrest. He said they're bringing a new book out dying to give it a read soon. So James, you get the nod. Obviously, pace wise, quite good. He had a few goals against Ross County in the past as well, so he'll be a threat on the right wing as normal at home. Left one's a bit of a tough one. Johnny Hayes could play, could start, could be El Nusi. El Nusi obviously played for Norway as well on the international side. And then you have Scott Sinclair, the one that all the fans are calling for. Will he get a nod? I think this would be the ideal game for him. Definitely, obviously, with the confidence boost scoring against Partick in the League Cup a couple of weeks ago, gave him that bit of a push. Physique wise, he's looking really good as well. He's getting into good shape as well. And then up front would be the man of the moment, Edouard. He's coming back from an absolute cracking international break. He scored a hat-trick the other night for France against Sweden. So I would definitely start Edouard. I think it's going to be very, very hard to keep him in January. If we keep him past January and get the 9 in a row, price tag behind him big time, especially in European football. If we do progress through this group, if he bangs in a few goals against Lazio in the next two games, teams in Serie A, there's been reports that Manchester United are looking at Edouard. Teams in France have been looking at him as well. Lyon are looking at him as well. Lille are looking at him as well. Crazy. Even talks of Borussia Dortmund going in for him. But if we keep him till the end of the season, it'll be a success for Celtic big time, because he is our main striker. At the moment, we don't know what the story is with Lee Griffiths. He's meant to be injured. We don't know. Don't know what the hell's going on there. But the only thing I say about Lee, he was caught the other day playing a game of pool with Luke O'Connell anyway. So yeah. So and then Boyo's saying that he's going to take Edouard's place. I'm sorry, but he's nowhere near the calibre of Edouard. He's fast, but his finishing is atrocious. I still think he has nerves of settling into the game in Scotland, but he should be getting his shit together big time, especially for the record he had in the previous team he played for in Slovakia. Absolute crazy it is. So it'll be a strong bench big time. Like, obviously we might get a good turn up as well. Celtic Park will be kicking for it. Maybe hopefully about 50,000 fans. Oh, I don't know about a full house with the weather and all. Weather is changing soon as well. People are just be like, ugh. But predictions for the game, I'm gonna fancy 3-0 Celtic. I think the goals will come from the back. I think Julian's gonna bang one in. He has a bit of redemption on his hands there. I say Callum's gonna bang one in, and I say Edouard's gonna get a nice finish there as well. I'm gonna say a free kick from Edouard. But let us know in your comments what you think the game will be. If you agree with me about the players so far, will they bounce back from Livingston? Will it be drop points at home? Will the Huns capitalise from this? You never know with the title race. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't even consider it a title race. I think let them have their 3 or 4 week party on top of the league. Celtic will smash them in Celtic Park on the 29th of December. No question about it. I just think, as being champions for the last 8 years in a row, we have the mentality to go on and do it big time. I don't think we'll let it slip. I think we should honestly back off the cups and consider this league, because the Europa League will kill us as much as we want to progress in the Europa League. But financially, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know really if it's worth it, because we don't want to be losing points on a Sunday coming back. And so I've touched on it loads of times, but the league is the focus. If you just win the league and do well, win the league by double points, we're all happy. We're all singing, here we go, 10 in a row soon. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Hope you subscribe and speak to us all soon. I'll be doing an after match reaction after the game on Saturday, maybe with the Boys Noise podcast. Never know, we'll see. But take care, celts. See you all soon.